Hi, this is Tanya from Lovebuddha Tarot, back with the card of today for the 24th of August 2016. Two cards today because one flew out while I was pulling the cards, and they're quite interesting. It was like when I looked at them, it was like, wow, okay, these sort of make sense. I got something sort of channeled to me last night, and I'll bring that in a little bit once I get on about the cards. So the two cards that we have are the Hierophant and the Two of Swords. So putting together, they make quite an interesting reading rather than just this is what's going to happen if it was just the one card. So the one that's standing out most to me is the Hierophant. So this is the Hierophant. I struggled with this card when I first started reading tarot. I really just didn't gel with it. I think I was a little bit scared, and that's quite interesting as well because fear always holds us back. But once I sort of embraced the Hierophant, I really like him now. He's sort of like my homeboy a bit. So the word Hierophant comes from Greek, and it's hieros, that means sacred, and phanian means to show. So he's the revealer of secrets, a bit like the high priestess. He's very in tune with the high priestess, but there is some differences. With the high priestess, it's all about secret knowledge. So it's veiled, there's the veil behind her, and the pillars either side of her are black and white. The pillars here, he's merged them together, so there's no black and white here, and the veil is gone as well. So what he does is, the high priestess will present you with things, and it's up to you to make of them what you will. The Hierophant this is it. This is what you need to do. So he's a little bit more blunt as well. And when he comes up in a reading, or when he turns up on your part of the journey, it's about, right, okay, you're invited to explore the sacred truth here. And this truth that he is showing you lies way beneath all of the beliefs that you've had, the old doctrines you've had, the things that you've incorporated into your life up until now. The way you thought about life, the way you thought about others, the way you thought about yourself, and the way you thought about that there was a limit on what you could have, or that this is my life and I have to live it. He's here to say, no, you can have the life you want, and he is the internal teacher. This is what he is, so he's saying the answers are within you, and he is actually showing you them. This is what the Hierophant does. When I said I got something given last night, what it was that I was given was, if you don't break the patterns of the past and sort of do something different in the future, then what you will get is you will get what you had in the past. So it was a bit more eloquently than that, but it was the way it was coming through. So it's like, right, okay, if you, I'm sick of saying this, if you always do what you've always done, sick of saying that. But this is like, I really feel there's a time where you're presented where, right, okay, this is when to do things differently, because if they worked the first time, great, carry on doing them. But if they didn't work the first time, then now is the time where it's like, you need to look at the part you are playing in this, and you need to look, if your life isn't going how you want it to, you need to look at what it is you're doing that is causing this as well, So there's a great quote by Henry Ford, and he says, like, whether you think you can or think you can't, you're usually right, and this is it. It's all about our thinking, and this is what the Hierophant comes in to say, you know what, you are not the same person as you used to be. You have learned so many lessons, and now it's time to put that knowledge to good use, because he's a teacher, he's a guide, and he doesn't force his knowledge on you, but what he does is force you to see that it is there for you, and he is there to take your hand and lead you down your path, which is usually a spiritual one, because the Hierophant, like I say, he's not just a teacher, he's not just somebody standing on a pulpit telling you what to do. He actually lives by his truth, and that is, this is what he does. So he's a great example as well. And when this card comes in, it always does say to you as well, look at people who are teachers within your life. You might not even recognize them as teachers, but look at people who you admire for how they live their life. Their walk sort of matches their talk, you know, their actions match what they are saying, because there's so many people can talk the talk, you know, but you put that together with their actions and it's all just absolute rubbish, you know. It's okay saying the things, but it's doing what you're saying as well, you know. So like I say, he's a bit more blunt here, but not in a harsh way. It's like, look, you know, if you're not happy, if you don't like how things are, this is how you change them. So like I say, really, you know, look at people who do this. Look at, you know, we all have teachers. I mean, in A Course in Miracles, it says that we are all teachers and students. So, you know, yes, we may teach people, but we're also learning from those people as well. And, you know, sometimes our harshest lessons are from the people that have hurt us, you know, but we've got to be thankful for that, because that's made us realize what we don't want. You know, and sorry, I was going to say something there. It's not, because it's not very good to speak about somebody bad. But, you know, sometimes people come into our life and there's somebody from way back, fair few years ago, you know, and it's like I say, they really made me realize, whoa, that is not what I want in my life. So they were a great teacher. So like I say, this card, he holds the keys here. He holds the keys to your future, and he holds the keys to a fulfilling future as well, and a lot more authentic future, you know, because like I say, he's all about learning from the lessons that we've encountered as well, you know, and knowing that we can put them to good use. They might have been harsh, they might have hurt, but we can put them to good use in the future. He always says as well, the high priestess, the Hierophant, that being spiritually rich is very different to being materially rich. You know, I've met people that have been, you know, heads of massive corporations, you know, multi-millionaires and whatever, and, you know, spiritually wise, they're pretty much bankrupt. They're emotionally and spiritually bankrupt. And I wouldn't swap their bank balance, you know, for my sort of inner balance. You know, I wouldn't do that. So, like I say, when we look at this card, if we look at his staff here, these always look to me like steps. So it's like, right, okay, it's time for you to step up a level. You know, this is it. I mentioned the other day that, right, you've graduated, and now it's like, yeah, you've graduated. So now it's your next part of learning. So it's like, rather than getting your degree in spirituality, you know, or your degree in yourself, it's now, right, okay, it's master's time, and then it will be PhD time, you know, because once you stop learning, you can't stop. What I was alerted to on here, which I've never seen within this deck before, that actually looks like the moon around his neck again. You know, it's this moon, we kind of get away from it, but it is a massive teaching moon as well. And with this moon being around his neck, it's like it is time to speak your truth. You know, this is what you've got to do. The red of his cloak, this is showing that he's grounded. He's grounded within his truth, and he's ready to speak it now. The orange of his red headdress is, like I say, this is connected to our sacral chakra. So his emotions and his thinking are in sync. So, you know, it's a great position to be in here, and it's all about like bringing in the balance. You know, we struggle with you know, our emotional, our spiritual, and our material life, but they can be balanced. You know, you can't like, you know, just because you have one doesn't mean that the other one doesn't run smoothly. It can, but it's just learning how to incorporate what you know. And like I say, when you're speaking your truth, when you're living your truth, you will find that it's a lot easier your life will be a lot easier as well, you know. So like I say, I mean, the number of the Hierophant is 5, which fives always bring in some sort of confusion as well. You know, we're in the middle stage, you know, and that's it. So we've come a long way, but we've still got a way to go. So 5s is where you suddenly stop and think, right, like, shit, what have I done? Bizarrely enough, I had a real panic moment yesterday. I got overcome with panic. I think throwing all of the stuff out of my house, knowing that I was moving on, suddenly just overwhelmed me, and I had a real like, whoa, what's going on, and it was so bizarre. And I tried to get out of it. I spoke to a couple of friends, and it was like, what is going on here? And I realized what had happened is I detoured into fear. My trust had gone. I detoured into fear. I had to take some time. I breathed. I acknowledged the fear. I sort of, right, okay, this is what it's about. It's understandable. It's quite logic, but know that, just surrender to it, because it's going to be okay. And a friend of mine said to me, Tanya, you have been in much worse situations than this, and you've got through them. This isn't bad. It's exciting. It's not scary. So it was like straight away, I just reset. But this is as well, like I say, this talks about the Hierophant, because I know that, and if I was you asking me for advice, I would tell you, don't worry, it's all going to be fine. But I still had that wobble, but that wobble I was able to bring back into balance straight away, rather than make it carry on for today and carry on for the rest of last night or whatever. So this card is about, it's about the coming together with the people that will teach you. This is what it is. Like I say, you've started learning now. You've opened that book, and there's no going back. This is you're on your learning curve now. And Timothy Leary was a great guy. I really find his writings very interesting. And he said, find the others. That is a great thing. And it's once you find the others, you understand with it. It's people who are on the same vibrational level as you, and they will lift you up and they will teach you, rather than pull you down and make you try to forget what you have learned, and the right people show up at the right time. Because divine timing is a very important factor of this card, and this is about like you learning by yourself. It's like taking everything that you've experienced, laying it all out, and seeing what lessons you learned from it, and how you're going to use them for your future to make it better for you. So this isn't about outer things, this is about inner things. And you have all of the information there. It's just about, now it's time to put it into practice, and make your actions and your words coincide. This will then, like I say, attract other people who work on that level. And this is a great learning, because you things get better from that. I mean, if we think the excitement of learning, when we were kids, we didn't want to learn because it was stuff that was forced on us. When we're learning, and especially when we're learning spiritually, it's something that we want, so we get this buzz and we get this passion, and and we know that it's going to take us further and help us. So this is what the Hierophant is coming in today. So that's why I like him. That's why he's my homeboy. But like I say, there's a big but here. Why are you so closed off to it? This is saying, right, we have the Two of Swords here. Shut his eyes, shut his heart off. Right, okay, I don't want to learn. I don't want to learn. It's too confusing. It's causing too many problems. It's upsetting my status quo, and I'm just going to turn the learning head off. That's exactly what is coming in with this card. And it's like, please don't confuse me with the facts, It's like, yeah, sugarcoat me things. That's much, much easier. But, it's not easier, because when you block off to this, like I say, you can unsee things, you can unlearn things. Once something's been triggered, and once that trigger has been set off within you, you can turn it off. So it doesn't matter how much you try to bury your head in the sand, play ostrich syndrome, or cut yourself off now from this learning. It's it's just going to be futile, because it will come back and it will bite you on the ass again and again. And like I say, if you keep ignoring it, it will keep coming round, and the lessons will get harsher and harsher, because everything the universe teaches us is to move us forward, and so that we are living this abundant, happy life, which we are meant to. But if we aren't taking that them gifts on board, where if we're not looking at the signs, if we're not moving forward in the way that we want to, the universe will just come round and do it again and do it again. And each time it gets less tolerant. So each time it will come in, and, eventually this is when we get the Tower card, because the Tower is when this universe is sick of making you, sick of trying to guide you, and you don't do it. So the Tower just comes in and goes, right, okay, bang, and everything is chaos and destruction. You don't want to get to that point, because it's not nice, it's not pretty, and it causes a lot more problems. But if you carry on blocking off and blocking out, this is what will happen, So like I say, with this card, if he has a look behind him, yeah, there's a couple of rocks, but that water's calm. There's nothing to be scared of, but it's the change. And when we have lived in a certain way for so long, when we have developed habits and patterns for so long, and when they suddenly have to change, it is scary. And sometimes we might think, oh, you know what? I tell you what, I'm just gonna stay where I am. It's comfortable, I know it. I don't have to push myself, because this is it. With all learning, we've got to push ourselves as well, and that can be scary. So it's like, oh, right, I'll sit back in my comfort and I'll not grow, because this is, it's easy here. If you want the easy life, then, don't take the easy life, because the easy life is actually a lot harder, If you want an easy life, then go for a truthful, authentic life, because that will make you shine, and that will make you happier in the long run. I read something the other day, and I thought it was quite funny, and it was, somebody had said, yeah, you've got to fake it until you make it. And then the other person was like, no, you don't. If you continue faking it, you'll never make it. And that is exactly what is happening with these cards. The lessons are there. You know them. You know what it is you're going to do. You're ready to go up that next level, but you're sort of, all right, I tell you what, I'm just gonna do what I've always done, because that's what I know, and that's me. And there's a lot of self-deception. That's the word that I think has just been brought in there. Yeah, self-deception with this, So you're not cutting yourself off to anything else apart from you. Like I say, yesterday I had this huge panic, and I said to my friend, oh God, I just want to run away. I could just run out of this house now and just get on a plane and just go off somewhere. And she said, yeah, but you're still going to be with you, and wherever you go, you'll always find you. So that is really, that sort of coincides so much with these cards, because it doesn't matter how much you try and cut off things, you are always there. And once you know, you cannot unknow, So I hope it made sense to you in a bit. Sorry, I really feel like I've told you off it, and sorry, I've just been alerted to something there as well. I'm looking at his belt here, and the belt is sort of like a snake, and I really feel this is just like, it's like, by cutting off like this, it's like putting this snake around you. And when these boa constrictors like completely constrict you, and get to the point where they sort of squeeze you to death. I think that's what that was bringing in there. That was strange. So yeah, so I hope you like them. I didn't really tell you off. Like I say, don't blame me. Blame whoever. But it's I just give off what I get. But they make so much sense. They make so much sense to me as well. Like I say, a little wobble yesterday, but back on track and back in balance today. But please let me know if you like them, and please let me know if they resonated with you as well. It's like I say, we're going through strange times, but we're being tested. We're being tested a lot as well, and in this is tested to see if we have learned these lessons, if we are ready to move up to the next level. Because it's everything seems to be showing you the way, and everything sort of seems there, but it's like, now this is exam time to see if you have taken it all on board. And the best thing to do with exams is just breathe and do your best as well. If you do your best, then you should always get good results. So if anybody would like a reading with me, please get in touch, either Facebook or via my website. I do phone, Skype or email readings. I have got availability for this week as well, a little bit availability left. If people like these videos, then please share them as well. You know, it's nice. We're getting a really nice sort of don't know, the others, like Timothy Leary said, you know, it's some really like-minded people are coming in and connecting with this, which is absolutely great, because that's what it's all about. And most importantly, thank you for watching. You know, I do really appreciate it, and you know, it does. I really enjoy connecting with you all as well. You know, that does come from the heart, and it's like I say, I never see these as work. I get excited before I do each video. So a big thank you to you for watching them, and thank you for subscribing, and thank you for giving me your continued support as well. You know, it really does mean a lot. So I'm rambling. I'm going to go, and I'll be back with the card of today tomorrow. But please, you know, think about those cards, and you know, don't go burying your head in the sand, because you know the view there isn't pretty. Okay, Satnam.